Hi everyone, we're team cs.50 and our project is the Aquameter, a smart alert system for aquariums. Uh, so let's start with our presentation. So let's start with the project idea and the big picture diagram. So basically, a project has two subsystems. The first subsystem being the water tank and detection subsystem. It basically hosts all the sensors, the temperature sensor, water level sensor, and the pH sensor. And it also has LEDs on it. Our subsystem 2 is the UI and display subsystem, which has the 16 by 2 LCD display, and it also has LEDs on it. The main communication between these two subsystems is Bluetooth, and we're doing so using the HCO5 Bluetooth modules. So that's basically our big picture diagram. Let's move on to next slide.
So the input devices that we've used is the pH sensor or water level sensor and temperature sensor and push buttons. The output devices are LEDs, which are red, yellow, and green, a 16 by 2 LCD display, and a buzzer. And the communication mechanism is a Bluetooth communication using HCO5 Bluetooth modules.
So let's look at our hardware diagrams for the project. So what you see on the left-hand side is the subsystem 2, which is basically the UI and display subsystem. It has a 16 by 2 LCD display. We have a potentiometer. We have the HCO5 Bluetooth module, and this module on the subsystem 2 is acting as the slave as it receives all the information. And we also have 3 LEDs on the subsystem and 2 push buttons to control the functioning of the subsystem. So that's basically our subsystem 2, and this is our subsystem 1 on the right-hand side. It is the sensor subsystem that hosts the water level sensor. This is the pH sensor, and this we have on here is the temperature sensor. We also have the HCO5 Bluetooth module here and 3 LEDs. This Bluetooth module on subsystem 1 will serve as the master communication. So that's basically to the hardware diagrams we have for both of our subsystems. And now let's move on to the team process and related roles.
So this project involved both of us building the subsystems, and we shared the work on both subsystems. We had the first two established using Bluetooth communication between the two subsystems, and then we focused on building subsystem 1, which is a sensor subsystem that includes all the sensors, which is the temperature, pH, and depth. We ordered these parts and spent the majority of our time testing and wiring these components. We then built our subsystem 2, which is the UI subsystem with the Bluetooth modules, and we send over the data using subsystem 1 to subsystem 2, which displays all this data and sends appropriate messages and alerts to the users.
So this was a quick presentation about our project, including the big picture diagram and the hardware diagrams. So let's move on to the live demonstration of how the project works. Hey everyone, so we're now doing the live presentation of Aquameter, which is our project for CS362, and we're team CS.50. So this is Aquameter, the live assistant for aquariums. So right now we're currently looking at our subsystem 1, which basically hosts the display component, the 16 by 2 LCD display. As of now, it's just the welcome screen. Let's quickly look at our subsystem 2 as well. Our subsystem 2 hosts all the sensors. The sensors are currently in the aquarium. So we have an aquarium setup here. We have regular room temperature water right now. This component is the pH sensor. This is the water depth sensor. And we have 4 temperature sensors for all of the 4 corners of the aquarium. We decided to use 4 temperature sensors so that we can average out the values so that we can get a more standard or a uniform reading. All of these components are currently attached to the aquarium. So let's look at our subsystem 1 and let's see the readings. We've designed it so that we can control the LCD display using a joystick. So let's look at some of our values. We see that the pH value of the water is currently at 7.0, which is safe for both humans and fish. Let's see the temperature. Temperature is at 22.9 degrees Celsius. Again, a safe temperature for fish. We see the temperature value slightly fluctuating. That's because we do have 4 sensors in there and it's constantly reading the temperature values. The water level is currently at 80%, which is again a safe level, as we can see for the fish. So what I'm going to demonstrate here is the functioning of the temperature sensors. I'm going to add a cup of ice to the water. Again, the idea of the project is to help aquarium hobbyists keep and take care of their fish safely. So if there is a fluctuation in the water temperature, something that's drastic, like the temperature gets really cold maybe in the middle of the night, it should be able to alert the users. Now we can actually see that the temperature is dropping. It was 22.9 just a couple of seconds ago. It's slowly decreasing. Yeah, we see that the temperature is decreasing. Yeah, so we see the temperature dropping. Let's quickly look at the pH. Slightly dropped. Again, possibly the impurities in the ice. And then the water level stays same. We didn't add a lot of ice, so the water level stays the same. So that's basically our system currently. The main communication between the two subsystems is happening using Bluetooth modules. We're using HCO5 Bluetooth modules. This is the slave subsystem and this is the master subsystem that's sending all the values. So yeah, that's basically our setup for our project. This is the aquameter and we are team cs362milestone5. Thank you.